So, Pearl, how you doing? Welcome to the Hart's Worm Farm WeCompost. Hart's Worm Farm is the muscle behind WeCompost. WeCompost is a grassroots nonprofit that that promotes on-site composting. So this is Hart's Worm Farm, and it brings in the money for WeCompost. What I do is I collect food scraps from the farmers market, from mother's market, from coffee houses, and I bring it in here and I compost it. So we have some hot compost piles going here, and I just had my volunteer build the one in the back, so that's the freshest one. And yeah, you can see the steam, and I'm really upset and jealous because I haven't been able to get this thing up to 150 and she's got it to 160 in one day. Did you catch the steam on there? Coming out? So there's holes in there that allows it to breathe. So I take this compost, and I don't get it all the way finished. So I take this and I bring it over here, and I feed this to my worms. So each tray is about 1 square foot, and 1,000 worms can fit in 1 square foot of surface space. So what I do is if I pick one up, if there's a lot of worms in there, there's your worms. So if we come back this way, I will show you where I get my castings. And as we're going back, you know what? Let's different methods of composting. So this in California, because it gets so hot, a really nice way to compost is in the ground, because the worms will die after 105 degrees. So this is just a $10 sonic tube. Drill holes in it, cut it in half, and then you bury it in the ground. So what you do is, this is buried in the ground right there, if you get a close-up of that. And then you put your worms in here, and then in 1-inch lifts, you put your food scraps. And like this one is, it's just covered, out of the way, out of sight, easy to maintain. And the worms, in theory, will go in and out of these holes and fertilize your garden or yard. And you can have one solid area of pure worm castings in here. So let's go see my bins, which are over here. And I will stand real far back so this is what's called a CFT. It is a continuous flow reactor. Continuous flow through reactor. Let me spit that out. Basically, you put the food in top, and then on the bottom there's some bars, and I take this rake and I just scrape the bottom, and I get the worm castings out. So I don't know, sure if you can see this.
And that's like pea, worm pea.
So this is, well, so anyway, so I'll take the rake and I'll just scrape that out. So that's your worm castings. And then we just fed it, but normally if you pick this guy up, you'll see some worms.
Oh, yeah.
So there's some worms.
Ooh. Oh, cool.
So that's my operation. So we take, let's go back this way. in the end, this is what we produce. So that's almost pure worm castings. It is excellent for your soil, protects the plants from disease, it protects the plants from pests, and it also gives it numerous nutrients, macronutrients, micronutrients, humates, fluvates to help it grow. And what's good for your plants is good for you. Not too bad. So let's get you your worms.
Yes.
You want it 2 pounds?
Yes, please.
So you got the box?
My box.
So this is, I've got a few worms trying to run away, but these are your worms.
Oh, cool.
So
Oh, wow.
they like to do this, get in little tiny balls, and nice bit of worms. Some more. Love these guys. So if this is your first worm bin, I highly recommend getting this book, Worms Eat My Garbage by Mary Applehoff. She is the godmother of worm farming. May she rest in peace. She started the whole thing. Without her, we wouldn't be here. This is a fantastic book. It'll answer most of your questions. And it's really important because a lot of the information on YouTube and all the social media is inaccurate.
Right.
So this is a really good book, and this one is one I had to read to become a master composter. Teaming with Microbes by Jeff Lowenfelds. It is easy to read, full of great pictures, and a lot of good information. This will teach you how to grow your soil. And what got them started was this picture. So this is a root eating nematode, and he said at a tomato root. This is the same root eating nematode, but fungal hyphae is eating the nematode, which is pretty awesome. So after that, they decided, hey, maybe we should be spraying fungicides. So I bought both these. I bought a lot of these books, a case of them, and I sell them at cost if you want to buy it.
I already have this one. So
Nice.
How much is that? I'll take that one.
All right, so that's 15.
Oh, okay, perfect.
And I would also get yourself a highlighter because you're going to highlight every single page. I kid you not.
Big yellow book.
It is. It actually changed my. I didn't know anything about worms before I started, and before I became a master composter. And it actually, now, look at me. A couple 100,000 worms.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah, exactly. So it's John Craig. I run Hart's Worm Farm and WeCompost. WeCompost is a grassroots nonprofit. Hart's Worm Farm is the muscle behind WeCompost. The mission behind WeCompost is to promote on-site composting, which Pearl now is going to be doing. Yay! Because when you compost at home, you get to the numerous benefits of the compost right at home, no travel costs, and you can use it right there. Fantastic stuff.
Now.
So why are you composting?
So I took out my front yard. It's about 1,000 square feet, and I have food garden. Everything's food. So composting to get better soil to grow better food, more food.
More nutrients?
Yeah,
Be healthier.
nutritious soil. Yeah, exactly. So.
How big of a garden do you have?
1,000 square feet.
1,000 square feet.
Yeah. My whole lawn
Why not?
wiped away.
Yeah.
Because who needs a lawn?
Really? You'd rather have a garden than it's,
Exactly.
Why mow grass, for Pete's sake?
Exactly.
Grow food, not lawns.
Exactly.
That's it.
yeah.
That's it. So this is another type of composting bin. This is one that I actually had in my kitchen.
Oh.
It was absolutely awesome. It's another continuous flow through system, CFT. You put your food on top, just food, and then maybe add some newspaper. I put a flat of wheatgrass, used wheatgrass on top. And when you're ready to harvest, this will get up to here, and then you harvest it. I was able to get over a 5-gallon bucket out of pure worm castings, and it was still 2/3 full. Beautiful stuff, and you cannot get better worm castings than the stuff that you produce in your own home. You can't buy it anywhere else that's that good. You just can't do it. I can't. I can produce the best I can, but the person that produces it themselves in their home will blow mine away. That's just a basic fact. You know exactly what's going into it. There is no trash. There's just, it's all organic, whatever you want. You have a lot more control. And this, you can make this yourself.
Yeah.
And it has a small, what do you call it? Square footage space, or the, yeah. Very easy to do, and no smells, no odors, no flies. I love this guy. And they don't manufacture this kind anymore, but they do make other types of that are similar, but you can also make it yourself. There's a site called instructables.com where it will show you how to sew this. It's very, I mean, I don't know how to sew, but if you do, one of my clients did it, and it was fairly simple. So nice system. And if you have any questions, please feel free to call me.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
This is a 2 types of bins here. The bigger one is what's called a Russian wedge. It is really simple to operate. Basically, what we're doing is, the way we started was we took some worms, we put them all along the outside edge in a triangle, and then we put food on top, and we kept feeding the hypotenuse edge of this triangle all the way down. So we're going all the way down, we keep going, and this is where we're at right now. So all along this edge is what we're feeding. And back here, you can see some worms still here, but this is what they're producing is worm castings. Unfortunately, these guys are a little bit slow and they're lagging behind, but that's okay. The other type of bin is more of a home bin, and people put this in their garage or their basement or the living room, whatever. So this is stackable. Very easy, very doable. And what you do is you put the food in here, and you got some worms in there. He's a little low, but that's okay. The worms are gonna eat all this up. And when they're finished with that one, this is a little bit fresher. They're gonna come up to this one. And then when we're finished with that, they'll come up to this one. So
how do they move from one bin to the
So at each bin, you got holes on the bottom.
Oh.
And they just go up to the holes. And again, you have Joe, who has this bin. He's using the wheatgrass, which is free from Mother's or Juice It Up or Robex, to just as a lid. It's really nice because it helps maintain the moisture, helps maintain the temperature in the bin, and it also gives the worm food, the food supply. They will eat it. They feel safe in there. They'll mate in there. So it's free. Just go to any Robex and pick one up. So this is a brush pile. It is passively composting. It is the ugliest looking thing you ever saw in your life, but it's hidden in the corner. It's run by the Farm and Food Lab, but this is another way to compost. If you're in no rush and if you don't care about unsightly branches and things, it's this simple. Just take it and pile it. So this is where it all starts. This is our compost drop-off location. We have compost goes here, we have recycling over here, and trash over here. We don't want to mix all the stuff up or confuse anyone to think that they can put trash in here. We have, and then we also have a composting symbol here to help people identify exactly that this is for composting. And what this tells people is how to compost. To make good compost, you need air and water. You need your browns, which are your carbons, which are your mulch, your papers, your dried grasses. Those are all your browns. And then we have our greens, our nitrogens. And let's look inside here, and we can see that most of this is our greens. We have nice lettuce, that's pomegranate, oranges, and I don't know, we have our browns, we got some paper, some more paper, and some more greens, flower stems. So this is where it all starts, and this is where it all ends. This tells us the benefits of composting. It will protect and clean our air and our water. It will build our soils, and it adds life. Without soils, plants, without compost, plants will not have the nutrients they need to grow, and if we don't get those nutrients, we don't survive. Composting is vital to our survival. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.